She didn't disappear in a forest. She didn't disappear in the middle of nowhere. She disappeared in one of the busiest tourist areas in Europe. Streetlights, apartments, holiday homes, restaurants. And yet, a 15-year-old Irish girl walked away from a friend's house in southern Spain and never made it home. Her name was Amy Fitzpatrick. And the strange thing about this case is not just that she vanished. It's how little time it took. One short walk, just a few minutes, and then nothing. No confirmed sighting, no phone call, no clear answer, and even today, the timeline of that night still feels like it's missing a piece. Amy Fitzpatrick was a teenager from Dublin, Ireland. She was born there but spent much of her childhood in Spain after her family moved to the Costa del Sol. Like many Irish families living there, they had built a life in the sun. Amy lived in the area of Mijas Costa with her mother Audrey, her stepfather Dave Mahon, and her younger brother Dean. Mijas Costa is not a remote village. It is a busy stretch of the Costa del Sol filled with apartments, restaurants, holiday homes, and tourists from all over Europe. Kids walk to each other's houses, families go out in the evening, teenagers hang out with friends. In other words, it's the kind of place where a short walk home should not be dangerous. But on the first day of the new year in 2008, that normal routine suddenly turned into one of the most haunting missing person cases involving an Irish teenager abroad. Amy had been spending time with a friend named Ashley Rose. The two girls were together on New Year's Eve and into the next day. On the evening of January 1st, Amy was at Ashley's home in Calypso area of Mijas Costa. The girls were reportedly babysitting Ashley's younger brother. It was not a wild party, it was not a chaotic night. It was a quiet evening at a friend's house. Later that night, Amy decided to head home. According to reports, she left Ashley's house at around 10 in the evening. Her home was not far away. The walk was roughly 2 kilometers. For a local teenager in that neighborhood, it was a familiar route. Street light lined parts of the road, homes and apartments surrounded the area. It was not some isolated countryside path. It should have been a simple walk, but Amy Fitzpatrick never arrived home. And here is where the timeline becomes thin, very thin, because the moment Amy left her friend's house in that last point investigator can confirm with confidence, after that everything becomes uncertain. No one has ever confirmed seeing her on that walk. No one has ever confirmed speaking to her. No CCTV footage from that night has publicly shown her continuing down the road. The trail simply stops. At first, Amy's absence did not cause immediate panic. She sometimes stayed at a friend's house. Teenagers do that, but as time passed, the situation started to feel wrong, very wrong. Amy was officially reported missing soon after. And suddenly the Costa del Sol became the focus of a large search effort. Police began investigating. Volunteers searched area near the walking route. Friends and neighbors joined the efforts. People walked the road, checked field, and looked anywhere a clue might exist. But nothing appeared. No bag, no phone, no clothing, no sign of a struggle. Just nothing. And this is the part of the case that investigators still struggle to explain. Because Amy disappeared in a populated area, not a deserted road, not an empty beach, a residential tourist area, the kind of place where someone usually sees something. But in Amy's case, no reliable witness ever confirmed seeing her during that walk home. Another detail added confusion. Amy's mobile phone was reportedly found back at the family apartment, which means she may have left her friend's house without it. And in 2008, that mattered. Without a phone, Amy had no quick way to call for help, no way to send a message, no way to create a digital trail that investigators could later follow. Then, a few years after the disappearance, another possible sighting surfaced. In 2011, reports suggested that witnesses claimed to have seen Amy later that same night in a bar in the nearby area of Kalahonda. According to those statements, Amy may have been seen with a blonde woman. But here is the problem. Those sightings were never confirmed by investigators, and without confirmation they remain only reports, not verified facts, which mean the last confirmed moment in the case still remain the same. Amy leaving her friend's house and beginning the walk home. As the investigation continued, police looked at several possible scenarios. One possibility was an opportunity crime. Someone passing through the area who saw a teenage girl walking alone. Another possibility was that Amy encountered someone she already knew, someone who convinced her to go somewhere else. Investigators also had to consider the possibility that something accidental happened during the walk. But here is the challenge. None of those possibilities produced clear evidence. No suspect was charged. No physical evidence publicly connected any individual to the disappearance. And without the evidence, the case remained open but unresolved. Then the case took another strange turn. In 2009, Amy's mother reportedly received a phone call from a man claiming he knew where Amy was. The man said Amy had been kidnapped and was being held in Madrid. He demanded money in exchange for information, but investigators quickly discovered that the phone used in the call was a prepaid device, unregistered, difficult to trace. The caller was never identified, and investigators later suggested the call may have been a hoax, a cruel one, because for families of missing people, even false hope can be devastating. Years later, another tragic event brought the Fitzpatrick family back into the headlines. Amy's brother Dean died in Dublin in 2013 after a stabbing accident involving Amy's stepfather Dave Mahone. Mahone was later convicted of manslaughter. This event shocked many people following Amy's case, but it did not provide answers about her disappearance. It only added another layer of tragedy to a family that had already endured years of uncertainty. Over time, several theories and rumors have circulated online, but it is important to stay disciplined with this case. Many claims have appeared on forums and social media. Most of them are unverified. Investigators have not publicly confirmed specific suspects. And without confirmed evidence, repeating rumors does not help solve the case. So, the focus remains on what can actually be supported by facts. A 15-year-old girl left a friend's home. She began walking home. And somewhere along that route, something happened. Years later, investigators briefly examined the human remains found in the Malaga area to see if they could be connected to Amy. But forensic testing later confirmed they were not related to her case. Another possible lead, another dead end. And that is why this case continued to haunt people, because the timeline is so short. A goodbye outside a friend's home, a short walk through a residential area, and then a disappearance that has lasted more than a decade. Cases like this leave behind difficult questions. What happened during that short walk? Did someone cross Amy's path that night? Did she encounter someone she trusted? Or did something occur that no witness ever saw? Because people do not simply vanish on 2 kilometers walk in a populated tourist town. Something interrupted that journey. Something stopped that timeline. And until the missing piece appears, Amy Fitzpatrick's story remains one of the most haunting unsolved disappearances involving an Irish teenager abroad. Somewhere along that quiet road in Mijas Costa, a 15-year-old girl vanished. And for many years now, the answer to what happened that night is still missing. If you want fast updates on Irish true crime, subscribe. We cover everything before it hits mainstream headlines. Thank you.